Hey everyone, it's Kellen from RacerX with another race examination video. Today we are going to take a look at the 2009 Las Vegas Supercross, which is one of the more memorable Las Vegas Supercross finales from the past. And there's a lot to talk about with this race, so let's go ahead and rewind and kind of break down how we got to this point in the season anyway. It started with Chad Reed and James Stewart hitting each other at Anaheim 1. Stewart would DNF. Chad would get up and finish third because the surprise winner at the opener was Josh Grant. Grant would not win another race that season. And then Stewart would go on a tear. He'd win about 7 races in a row before Reed would finally be able to stop the streak at Indianapolis that season. But you could see James was just winning races nonstop. There's Chad's win at Indy. James had a crash at Daytona, so Chad won that, and then they jawed with each other in practice at Jacksonville, and that led into a very dramatic main event that night that James eventually would take the win in. You can see here they're arguing after the race, Chad grabbing James. James didn't like that one bit, so they're jawing with each other, and this was starting to culminate into a boiling point in their rivalry, and it really created a lot of drama in the season. As you can see, James watching Chad walk away, and he kind of knows he has the upper hand in this situation, but there was still more contact coming later in the season. They continued to fight with each other, and the championship was very close when Ryan Villopoto took his first career Supercross win late in the season, and that brought us to Vegas with only 6 points between James and Chad in the championship, with Stewart having the upper hand in the finale as they head into the final race of the season in Las Vegas. So there's a lot of drama on the line as the gate finally dropped, and Stewart would take the early advantage with the pass of the lead on Michael Alessi on the first lap of the race. Villopoto would quickly move to second, with Chad down in about 5th. But he wouldn't waste much time. He would make some passes and get up into 3rd. But here's Villopoto jumping to the lead on Stewart, and Stewart was starting to make some mistakes. It looked like he was either having some trouble or he was just trying to manage the race and go a little bit slower. But you can see Chad would eventually catch James, and there's lap traffic just absolutely everywhere, and James is just wanting no part of it. He's just trying everything he can to stay on 2 wheels, and by the time Chad finally gets to him, you can see James is just wanting to let him go by, and Chad is not taking the advantage of it. There, look at how slow they're going through this section. I mean, tiptoeing all the way through the moguls. James even looks over like, "Are you going to go by me?" And Chad's like, "No, I'm perfectly content to stay right here, not go by him." And it's because Chad looked like he was trying to size up an opportunity to take James down. He needed James to finish 4th with Chad winning, and this happened.
There he is inside. Oh, contact!
So definitely some contact there, and Chad was trying to put James either on the ground or at least hitch him up a little bit to go behind 4th place, and so he could go ahead and take the win. But Stewart would hang on to 3rd and the championship in the end of it. Villopoto would take his 2nd win of the season, which was symbolic at the time because though Stewart won the championship, Stewart nor Reed would never win a title again. And Villopoto would win 4 straight titles just a couple years later. So Villopoto with the win that night. Reed and Stewart with a titanic battle all season long ends up with just 4 points between them after all is said and done, with James picking up his 2nd Supercross championship, and a wild night in Vegas for sure.